Hey, what's going on, guys? What's happening? YouTube, you guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. It's Friday afternoon. Hope you guys are set to have a wonderful weekend here. I just wanted to crank out a quick video. I saw this interesting business news story, and figured we'd share it with you guys. On the recent couple videos, we've talked about, companies mandating vaccines. We did a video earlier about how the Postal Workers Union has kind of spoken out against Joe Biden's vaccine mandate. And in this article, it talks about how Walmart has mandated vaccines for workers at their headquarters, but not at their retail stores. And this is really interesting to me. This one comes to us from San Francisco Gate. But let's think about this, right? So why would Walmart mandate vaccines for workers at their headquarters, but not at stores? So could be a couple things. Could be one thing, Walmart might value their higher paid, more educated white workers at their corporate office than their, store workers who are on the lower end of the socioeconomic status and who are likely more largely a percentage of people of color. Maybe Walmart values rich people over poor people. Maybe Walmart values white people over black people. Maybe Walmart values educated people over uneducated people. I think more likely what's going on here is Walmart realizes that somebody who's making $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 a year and who has built a career around Walmart is probably less likely to leave their job over this mandate than somebody making $9 an hour at a lower end job, to where they could very easily quit and just go find any other job making probably as much, if not more money. I actually got a buddy who moved from Chicago out to, I forget the name of the city in Arkansas, but moved out to Arkansas to work for Walmart. And in my parents' old neighborhood, a number of their old neighbors wound up relocating out to Arkansas to work for Walmart. Now think about this. Okay, you've built a career. You have a high-paying job, and typically high-paying jobs take a longer, if you were to leave a high-paying job, it's going to take you longer to find an equally high-paying job or as good of a job as it is if you're working at a sandwich shop making $12 an hour. You work at a sandwich shop and you leave a $12 an hour job, you can have another job that same afternoon, especially in the job market that we're in right now with the labor shortage. However, most people who work for Walmart have relocated across the country to Arkansas. So it's one thing if you live in Chicago and your workplace says we're mandating vaccines. Well, okay, I'll leave, I'll go find another job. There's no shortage of high-paying jobs in pretty much every industry throughout the Chicagoland area. However, if you've left Chicago or New York or some other area of the country and moved out to Arkansas to work for Walmart, you got a high-paying job, you got a good career. But if you were to leave Walmart because they mandated vaccines, you're probably going to wind up having to leave Arkansas. There's not a ton of companies based in Arkansas. There's not a ton of industry out there in Arkansas. So most likely, not only are you going to have to leave your job, but you're most likely going to have to move as well. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about all this stuff going on. I'm hearing rumors that within about 2-3 weeks into August, they're going to try to do lockdowns again. We'll wait and see if that happens. But let's take a read of this story from the San Francisco Gate. Again, this one is titled "Walmart Mandates Vaccines for Workers at Headquarters, but Not at Stores." And one thing I just want to point out, regardless of how you feel about the issue of vaccines, this is really an issue of how much power over you does your employer have. I've said this in a couple previous videos, and I'll say it again. Start businesses, live frugally, be financially independent. Because even if the vaccine issue isn't a hill that you're willing to die on, even if you've already gotten your vaccine and you could care less about this issue, this is setting a precedent of how much control your employer is going to have over you. So let's hop in here. New York. Walmart is requiring that all workers at its headquarters, as well as its managers who travel within the U.S., be vaccinated against COVID-19 by October 4th. The retailer based in Bentonville, Arkansas, is also reversing its mask policy for its employees working in stores, clubs, distribution facilities, and warehouses. Going forward, they will be required to wear masks in areas with high infection rates, even if they have been vaccinated. The moves are part of a series of sweeping measures the nation's largest retailer and private employer announced Friday to help curb the spread of the virus and drive more of its workers to get the shot in the arm. So here's one other thing that I kind of meant to say in kind of the lead up to this. But vaccines are kind of a controversial issue, right? I think our vaccine rate in this country right now is somewhere I want to say it's around 50%. I know they were shooting for 70%. It might be a little bit over 50%. But let's just say, just to simplify things, that this country right now is about half vaccinated, half unvaccinated. Now, there's really no, unless you're somebody who's immunocompromised or your physician has told you not to get the vaccine, at this point, most people have made up their minds. If you haven't gotten a vaccine, it's not because you haven't gotten around to it. It's not because you haven't had the time. Workplaces are giving people off work. We're giving out free donuts. We're giving out free beer. Cities are paying $100, $150. Here in Chicago, they'll even come to your house. They'll come to your house, give you a vaccine, and give you a $50 gift card. So if you haven't gotten a vaccine by now, again, it's not because you forgot about it. It's not because you haven't gotten around to it. It's because you've made a choice not to get it. And, I think, let's see, I'm trying to think how I say things here, because this is YouTube. So basically, if Walmart were to institute a vaccine mandate across the stores, I can guarantee you they would lose a significant amount of their staff. Businesses, including Walmart, are already understaffed. There's a labor shortage. You would see Walmart stores shutting down, and likely Walmart distribution facilities shutting down, because there just wouldn't be enough workers. Walmart is not going to shoot themselves in the foot. Walmart is not going to tank their business. So this really is just kind of a show. This is kind of virtue signaling. This is trying to kind of raise their ESG score. If Walmart truly believed this was a deadly, dangerous situation we were in, they would just mandate that everybody got vaccines. But they want to get good, positive press. They want to be on the quote-unquote right side of the issue, at least as far as the mainstream media sees things. And that's why their corporate offices have to get vaccinated, but not the frontline employees. Even though, in a lot of ways, the frontline employees are the ones who are coming into contact with a lot more people. They're touching all these products. They're in the aisles with people. They're the ones who are even more at risk than people who are in their offices. And, quite frankly, most Walmart corporate office workers could probably work from home, again, if they thought this was this really dangerous issue. The vaccine mandate excludes frontline workers who the company says have lower vaccination rates than management, but it's hoping that managerial employees who represent just a fraction of its 1.5 million workers will serve as an inspiration. Now let's think about this. If I work at a Walmart store making $9 an hour in downstate Illinois, right? I'm working at a Walmart in Charleston, Illinois, making $9 an hour. And I hear that, Jim Thompson from corporate out in Arkansas got the vaccine. Do you think I give a shit about that? Like, I'm sure most Walmart workers are like, fuck Walmart. It's not a great working environment. They're not paid that well. I don't think that they're going to be like super inspired and run out because Jim Thompson got the vaccine. I think if anything, they'll say Jim Thompson can suck my dick, right? Like, they don't really care what Jim Thompson at corporate says. I'm sure they'll send out emails to employees like, Jim Thompson was vaccinated and he's loving it, and he's he should be an inspiration to you guys. But this is not going to inspire frontline workers to get vaccinated. We're hoping that will influence even more of our frontline associates to become vaccinated, Walmart spokesman Scott Pope said. Pope declined to break out the vaccination rate for frontline workers at the rest of Walmart's employees. Walmart is also encouraging customers to wear masks in stores located in areas with surging cases, and will be adding back signs at the entrances. It will also bring back so-called health ambassadors who will be stationed at the entrances and hand out masks. The company is also doubling to $150 the incentive it is offering to workers in stores, clubs, as well as other facilities like distribution centers to get the vaccine. Those who already received the $75 incentive will receive another $75 in their paycheck, dated August 19th. The steps come 3 days after the Center for Disease Control and Prevention changed course on some of the masking guidelines, recommending that even vaccinated people return to wearing masks indoors in parts of the U.S. where the Delta variant of the coronavirus is fueling infection surges. Walmart's move to require vaccination of its workers at its headquarters follows Google's step announced earlier this week that it's postponing a return to office for most workers until mid-October and rolling out a policy that will eventually require everyone to be vaccinated once its sprawling campuses are fully reopened. Google's announcement was shortly followed by Facebook, which also said it will make vaccines mandatory for U.S. employees who work in offices. Exceptions will be made for medical and other reasons. Various government agencies already have announced demands for their employees to be vaccinated, but the corporate world so far has been taking a much more cautious approach, even though most lawyers believe the mandates are legal. And here's one little thing that you're going to notice about these types of articles, right? Like, who are these attorneys who believe it's legal? Like, they can say things like this and kind of put the idea in all of our heads that this is legal, even though this is a hotly contested issue. It is by no means definitively legal, and they're not naming any lawyers or quoting any lawyers who said this is legal. But if you slide something like that into one of these articles, you kind of start to put out this kind of subconscious message that, well, yeah, employers can require this. Delta and United Airlines are requiring new employees to show proof of vaccination. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are requiring their workers to disclose their vaccination status, but are not requiring staffers to be vaccinated. Here's another thing that we're kind of noticing. A lot of places aren't requiring that you show them a vaccine card because, and I'm not going to say if it's legal or illegal, but there are rules in place that don't allow your employer to kind of ask about things regarding your health. So most businesses are asking people to state their status. We need you to tell us if you're vaccinated. So if I'm not vaccinated and I say I'm vaccinated, there's nobody really checking up on that, but they need me to state it. And that's pretty much most of what I've seen from most non-government kind of corporate businesses. They're asking employees to tell them what their vaccine status is, but they're not actually asking for any proof. However, given Walmart's outsized influence on the economy, more companies could make similar announcements. In fact, following Walmart's announcement, the Disney company said Friday it's requiring all salaried and non-hourly employees in the U.S. working at any of its sites to be fully vaccinated. And again, very interesting, right? If you truly believe this is dangerous, you would require everybody to be vaccinated, especially your hourly employees who are working in the parks and things like that. But when you are only requiring your corporate office to get vaccinated, that tells me something about your true intentions or your true thoughts behind this. It said workers who aren't already vaccinated and are working on site will have 60 days from Friday to complete their protocols. Those who are still working from home will need to provide verification of vaccination before their return. Disney also said that all new hires will be required to be fully vaccinated before starting employment. Vaccines are the best tool we have to help control this global pandemic and protect our employees, Disney said in a statement. Disney has about 200,000 employees, but it is unclear how many of them are affected. The company, based in Burbank, California, did not respond to questions. Grocery store Kroger announced Friday it will be encouraging all customers, workers, and suppliers, including those who receive the shot, to wear masks at its stores, but the company said it will not be issuing a vaccine mandate for its employees. Ken Perkins, president of the retail research firm Retail Metrics, said that Walmart's move could serve as a green light to other companies to require vaccines, given its massive following and its location. It's based in the middle of the country, Perkins said. They speak to lower middle-income shoppers and workers. Walmart dramatically shifting policy reflects the growing worry about rising infection rates. We continue to watch with deep concern the developments of the pandemic and the spread of the variants, especially the Delta variant, wrote Donna Morris, Walmart's chief people officer, in the memo circulated employees that was shared by the company. We know vaccinations are a solution to drive that change. We are urging you to get vaccinated and want to see many more of you vaccinated. So here's something interesting. This is just kind of one cluster, but there was recently a COVID cluster, a cluster of people who caught COVID out in Massachusetts. Well, it turns out 75% of the people who wound up getting COVID were vaccinated. So, I know the goal isn't to block COVID from happening to you. The goal is for COVID not to kill you and for you not to wind up in a hospital. But if this Delta variant is getting you whether you're vaccinated or not, what's the big push to get people vaccinated? Maybe everybody should just wear masks instead. If masks work, I don't know what the solution to this is. In a separate memo sent to employees who work at the headquarters, Doug McKillen, president and CEO of Walmart Inc., wrote, "The virus is not over and a Delta variant has led to an increase in infection rates across much of the U.S. The retailer has seen a positive response to first financial incentive and is anticipating a sweetened perk will drive a similar response from workers," Pope said. He stopped short of saying that office workers who declined to be vaccinated would be terminated, but said that Walmart is working through the process. He noted that exceptions would be made for those who can't get vaccinated for medical or religious reasons. Walmart may be seeing a lot of their employees find religion here in the near future. When asked why frontline workers won't be required to get the vaccine, Pope said that its approach with its large number of workers in frontline facilities has been to inform them, encourage them, make it easy, and reward them financially for choosing to receive the vaccine. Well, that didn't really answer the question. They were asked, why are you requiring corporate office workers to get vaccinated, but not storefront workers? And he kind of just dodged the question. Walmart said it is also implementing a new process for verification of vaccine status for U.S. workers. It says it will share those details in the future. A few days after the CDC eased mask-wearing guidance for fully vaccinated people back in May, Walmart, along with a slew of other retailers, said it wouldn't require vaccinated shoppers to wear masks in stores unless state or local laws said otherwise. Walmart also said vaccinated workers could go maskless. At that time, Walmart said the customers wouldn't be asked, but rather held to an honor system regarding their vaccination status. Walmart workers who didn't wear masks also had to confirm they were vaccinated by filling out a daily questionnaire, although it was not requiring proof. So every day you come into the office, you have to reconfirm that you were vaccinated. That seems kind of silly to me. Anyhow, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts about this article. Go ahead and drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed the story, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button below and ring the bell. And these types of videos aren't going to get a lot of organic views on YouTube, so feel free to share this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.